the spot, news media. We got the latest news. We don't care about the views. We just representing right. Put local news internationally every night. On the spot, wave that Jamaican flag from left to right. Let's get it right. Y'all know the type. We ain't dealing with the hype. We make it take flight.
Yeah, man, my viewers and subscribers, what go on? A blessed and wonderful Sunday morning to each and every person out there tuning into On The Spot News Media. Now, my peeps, I don't know how we do it over on this side each and every morning. We have to give thanks and praise to the Most High Creator for the preservation of life, because life is indeed the greatest. So in the morning, my peeps, I have a few stories to share with you, the regular members of Chan Public and also members of the diaspora. So please like the video, share the video, watch the entire vlog so you can get a full understanding and a better appreciation of everything we are going in Jamaica. So watch this now, my peeps, to the name Sunday, the day when some of you, the regular ones and ones them out there, traverse the church. So whilst doing so, my peeps, please remember On The Spot News Media, its loyal viewers and subscribers in your immediate prayers. And also all those who are still grappling with the effects, the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa. Please, may I beg you, keep them in your immediate prayers also. And today, you don't know the official Red Rice and Roaster Day for those who can afford to put on a pot, and for those who are collecting relief packages. Blessings to you on this blessed and wonderful Sunday morning. Just the same, the greatest thing is that we have life. And from we have life, we have everything. Boy, may I tell you, my peeps. It's rough. So in the morning, my peeps, we're going to kick it off with an international update. Now, in yesterday morning's vlog, I made mention of a Jamaican national that lost his life to the hands of gun violence. A domestic dispute gone wrong over there in Turks and Caicos Islands in the Caribbean. We are talking about this man, presently on your screen identified as Melvin Wellington. His life was taken by his wife, presently on your screen identified as Fredeline Latour Wellington. Now, it is a controversial story because word on the street from one side of the divide is stating that she take his life because she find out, say, him a molest or pitney them. Now, a different version of the story come to light. So we're going to expound upon that. So the person close to the now deceased man, Melvin Wellington, stated that what I posted yesterday is that yes, the streets are said that for true, but Melvin was the total opposite of what they are accusing him of. They stated that Melvin took care of his kids, even the ones that were not his. They stated that the female, the alleged Nakis and Clappis in his demise, was, or should I say, is 4 months pregnant for another man. They stated that why Melvin's life was taken is because the female was caught in a compromising position with that other man, which led to a verbal altercation between both parties. It is stated that the verbal altercation reached to a point where it became physical, where the female used an imitation firearm to inflict several wounds to the head of Melvin. It is stated that Melvin made a police report surrounding the particular incident. The verbal altercation between both parties continued. It continued to the point where the female in question sought and got a real firearm and took it to where Melvin was. It is stated that the verbal altercations continued between both, and that is when she used the firearm to fire several shots into his body, leaving him lifeless. It is also stated that the female in question was arrested. Then she got bail by the police, who stated that there was not enough evidence to keep her in custody and there is no witnesses or witness statement to suggest that she was the actual Nakis and Clappis. So for now, it is alleged that she did it until it can be proven. So On The Spot News Media will most definitely be keeping tabs on this one and keep you updated in subsequent newscast. Boy, may I tell you, my peeps, the thing rough. So back to the local stories now. Yesterday, I posted what one would see as a very controversial video. The latter part of the vlog, that is, where I spoke about Darrell Vaz and the Buju Banton saga. Now many up in them feelings because you don't know the Gargamel are them favorite dancehall artists. And of course, Darrell Vaz as a politician will always be painted bad. Well, On The Spot News Media cares zero for either of the divide because my concern was and will always remain a concern. If those shipments that are coming in from Buju Banton and other persons who are sending aid, regardless of who, if those shipments are being thoroughly checked. I know for sure shipments coming through the shipping ports are being checked because they have the necessary equipment to scan big cargoes. I'm not for sure how it works with the airport authority. And I'm not for sure, even if they have it, is it being used because of the rush to get the much needed aid to the persons most affected? So that is really my concern, and not that Buju is accusing airport workers of stealing the relief products, or that Darrell Vaz can prove that there was no theft at the airport. I know for sure that over the years, yes, people would have been coming into the island and miss one and two stuff out of them suitcase or out of their shipments. That is a fact because that is a thing that has been said for years. Persons miss them cologne, miss a pair of shoes, miss two bossy shirt, two jeans. But it is always small items, jewelry, stuff like that, liquor, stuff like that. Small items that a regular ones and ones could a thief and put upon them person and walk away with it. It has never been a case where big items such as a stove, a fridge, whatsoever the case may be, went missing. But as I stated, separate and apart from the point, my concern is the security checks. Is there a mechanism in place to check those massive cargoes? If there is such a mechanism, somebody who works there, could you reach out to me via email or Instagram so I can definitely update the regular members of Chan Public as in how it works to give us a peace of mind, to reassure us that yes, the big cargoes coming through our nation's airports are being thoroughly checked and that criminals don't use it as a little loophole or a means to send in illegal weapons and ammunitions. That's my point. That's my take. So I'm leave that right there so for now. Yeah, man. Now the next thing that we're going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the St. Catherine South Police Division in Portmore, St. Catherine, where on November 9th, 2025, a fatal knifing took place in a particular community in St. Catherine. Well, Waterford, to be more specific, where a 30-year-old forklift driver did end up losing 3 points. When I made that report, I reported that he lost his life to the hands of his stepfather. But it is now revealed that it was his aunt's boyfriend that took his life. The deceased man is presently on your screen, and he has since been identified as 30-year-old at the time, Trevor Irving, a forklift operator of a Waterford address. Now both pictures on your screen is showing Trevor in happier times. The picture to the left of the screen is showing him at work after feeling tired after driving the forklift for hours. Now, what could have caused his aunt's husband to take his life? Sometimes the simplest of things can bring outrage out of some of us to the point where we take the life of our own family members. And the criminal element in question who took the life of the 30-year-old young man is presently on your screen as well. And he has since been identified as Christopher Angus Comrie. And he is now presently wanted by the St. Catherine South Police. So what had taken place on that dreadful day is that the now deceased Trevor Irving was speaking to his aunt and his aunt's boyfriend or husband about taking up the rubbish that they gathered in a certain section of the yard. Now that simple request spiraled into a verbal altercation when a knife was brought into play by Christopher Angus Comrie. It is stated that he used the knife to inflict not 1, 2, or 3, but 7 knife-up wounds to the chest of the young man, then used the said knife to bust him throat wide open. So now he's presently on the run, and he is most definitely wanted by the St. Catherine South Police. It is also stated that this is not his first rodeo. He is a known knife man because he did something similar to another man in Spanish Town in the St. Catherine North Police Division some time ago. And if that was reported to the police by the ones closest to him, he would not have been on the road to commit this atrocious act on this young man. So this now goes to show that when you know of your persons, whether your family member, significant other, or whosoever it is to you have committed such an atrocity, you are to report it because it may prevent that said person to do the same act to someone closest to you. So Christopher Angus Comrie is wanted by the St. Catherine South Police. So anyone knowing the whereabouts of this criminal element, please to alert the police and give them the much needed information. And as always, if you don't trust the police, link on the Spot News Media or any like-minded vlogger. Give us the information and we will most definitely pass it on to the relevant authorities who can make effective change. Yeah, man. Now the next thing that we are going to talk about, my peeps, is coming out of the troubled, war-torn, crime-riddled Kingston Western Police Division. We are talking about a criminal element that is basically ruling the community of Rema with an iron fist. We are talking about this criminal element here, present on your screen, identified as Tuggy. Yeah, man. Not the Tuggy from In the Streets, J.A., but Tuggy of a similar nature, nonetheless. And for those who are going to ask when the series are going to drop back, we are working on it, my peeps, but the Hurricane Melissa situation did kind of mess me up for one and mess up my meds secondly. So we're back on it in the studios, so it's going to drop pretty soon. So anyway, Tuggy come from Rema. Tuggy is the nephew of Sledge. Sledge is the reputed gang leader for the place. And also the cousin of Sooty, a youth that On The Spot News Media would have featured on this very program over the years. Now, this criminal element has rose to prominence and is basically saying that him are the general, him are the Dan, because him uncle are the real general, but him are the Dan pan the ground. So this criminal element here, I wreak havoc in the place. And the people them tired of him. Whole heap of things him a go on with. Whole heap of program him a run. So him a link with the man them from Tivoli Gardens, Screamers. And him a link with Spanglers man them. And him a bring a whole heap of strange face man in the place. The peoples them definitely not feel too comfortable about that. So to you, the authorities, this brother is known as Tuggy or Tuggy. You don't need to put him on the radar if he's not already on there. And definitely see what you can do to nip certain things in the bud before it spirals out of your control. Because the one thing that I see that is happening way too often in the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they're more reactive than proactive, sad to say. So with that said, my peeps, On The Spot News Media will most definitely be updating you subsequently as it relates to the knockings and clappings them by the police. We are going up there in the St. Andrew North Police Division, where it is now stated that the St. Andrew North Police nyam some food and broke the plate up there. In fact, we get to understand say a double police fatal knockings and clappings go on at Golden Spring in St. Andrew. And the criminal elements are no longer among the land of the living in a place known as Duppy Gully, to be more specific. And that made 4 police fatal knockings and clappings in separate incidents, of course, in 3 separate incidents in the St. Andrew North Police Division. And that brings the toll, the police fatal knockings and clappings toll, to 264. And as at November 13th, that is the figure. So Indicom is most definitely investigating. So anyway, my peeps, remember to like, share, subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned to On The Spot News Media as I continue to bring you fresh news and updates in subsequent newscast. On The Spot News Media. Yeah, man.